Hi there guys, and welcome back to another video. Thanks for tuning in again. For those who don't know, my name's Lewis. I own a car dealership in the area of Claycross, Chesterfield. I deal with selling vehicles up to usually around £5,000, and I am simply showing you guys my journey being a car dealer in the UK in the current climate. So a bit of a different video. Today is the 18th of April, Saturday. I will get this video uploaded to you guys today because we've got quite an important announcement to make later on. It's about 6:30 at the moment, so I've come in after hours, especially to do this video. Now, I will get onto that later on in terms of what we're doing and what announcement I've got to make to you guys. But to start with, I'm just going to walk around the pitch. We'll show you some positives, show you what's going on, and we'll go from there. So let's start with some positives. We've just had this 65 plate Volvo S60 arrive into stock today. It's a D2. It's got 106k on the clock and it is an automatic. We've had a lot of interest of this already, quite a few inquiries online. Apologise for the lighting guys, it's a bit time, the sunset is dropping. But I do think this vehicle is going to be good news. It drives lovely. Been taking it on a test drive for the past couple of days. You've got the cream interior there, which I think with the colour of the red, I think it looks really nice to be fair. It's had timing belt and water pump done. It's got a few service invoices with it as well. So I can't see that one being here long at all. We need to get it valeted, get it into the workshop, make sure there's no hidden gremlins, and then we shall get that one on the pitch. Next up then guys, we've just had this 2016 Vauxhall Insignia. This has got the 1.6 CDTI engine in, but it has had a brand new timing chain already done with the car. It's got 101k on the clock, as you can see. And I believe this is an SE spec. So it is, probably say one of the more basic ones. But again, these are great value for money. We've always done well with Insignias. So we'll get that one on the web, get that one advertised, and fingers crossed we'll have someone for it. I do believe, just saying that, I've got a customer that potentially might have this vehicle, as we had another Insignia in, that one's sold. So I'll give them a call and I'll see if he's interested in that one. Moving on to another one which has just arrived into stock. So this is a Vauxhall Astra 1.6 CDTI estate. Again, new timing chain, new clutch I believe this one's had as well. It's a nice car this, good value for money. It is a bit higher on the mileage side. It's got 131k on it, but all the relevant work has been done. And every time we seem to have had these in stock, they do seem to be good news. It's got parking sensors on the rear, and like I say, 69 plate, so 2019, and it's a sub £5,000 car, so I don't see that one being here long. And then it's also got a little twin here. So this is a year older, 68 plate. Again, it's got the 1.6 diesel engine in, but it's had a new timing chain again. This one's an SRI edition in a dark metallic grey, which I think looks, in my opinion, better than the silver one. But again, you've got parking sensors on the rear. But yeah, I think that represents, again, good value for money. Sub £5,000 car. So on the interior, with it being the SRI, seats are a little bit different. You'd probably say a bit more premium. You've got the automatic lighting control and automatic wipers as well. This one's only got 111k on the clock, so 20,000 miles less than the silver one. So it is a little bit more expensive, about £400 more I think it is. But again, fantastic value for money. And then another Vauxhall. So well, like the Vauxhall crew, I know some people have nightmares with these, but we seem to do all right with them. So this one's a Vauxhall Zafira 2015. This is an SE edition as well. It's got rear parking sensors. It's just had, let's just have a look. It's just had brand new disc and pads. Again, great value for money. This one's got 128k on the clock, I believe it is. Can't see it being here long in the area that we're in. Cheap 7-seater vehicle. I believe it's only £3,000 retail, so I don't see that one being here long at all. This Mondeo estate, the pain of my life. I had it MOT'd, power steering has gone again on this vehicle. So I've scanned it, power steering module, so I do need to get that booked in with the garage to be sorted. For those who remember in the last couple of videos, this Mini had a dent on the bonnet. New bonnet put on, and we've had an inquiry on it already. Someone who just walked on, had a look round it. I mean, what's there not to like? Silver vehicle, black wheels, good value for money. This Vauxhall Mocha, this one's been at the garage. 2014, it's got 70k on the clock. I had a bit of a running issue. I think, again, I mentioned in a previous video, it was coming up with thermostat and also O2 sensors. I replaced them. I did mean to get some footage of that, so my apologies, but the fault was still on there. So I sent it to the garage that I use, and it turns out it was the ECU which is gone. So underneath the ECU there was a load of water in it, and it was tripping the vehicle out, making it think that there was faults that didn't exist. So they've put a new ECU on it, cloned it from the old one, and that is now sorted. Good value for money, these. This is an SE edition. It's a full leather interior, heated seats, heated steering wheel, and again, it's a low mileage example for sub £5,000. I did think we'd have a few inquiries on this, but not yet. But no panic, I'm sure we will. The Jaguar XF has now come back. This is a sold car. It needed a new prop shaft bearing, which turned out to be a bit of a nightmare sorting that out. It needed a new spring and a new bottom arm to get it through its MOT. All that we've got left to do on this one is the driver's door lock. So when you lock the vehicle, unfortunately the driver's one does not lock. So we've got a new actuator. I'll try and get some footage of fitting that. I should be doing it either tomorrow or Monday. So if I crack on with that, I'll get some footage and show you how it's done. I think they're a bit of a nightmare to do. I think you have to take the window out and full door card. So we'll crack on with that later. So this one, you will remember it last video, this one wouldn't even start a couple of days ago. It turned out it was the EGR. Also the glow plug module had failed. So I've had that done, brought it back today. Obviously it's got the filler cap on as well, for those who remember on the last video. Just to make it look a little bit better. And this one is now sold. Sold it today to a lovely couple who came from Sheffield, and they are collecting that car on Friday. We've just got to do a wet vac on it, so that's the last couple of bits that we need to do. And also, which these are very common for, the side skirts come off because they're bondoed down. So we've redone that, stuck it down, let that set, and then that one will be good to go. This Nissan Note had a bit of a scuff on the back bumper, another job that we've sorted. So that's now been painted. I'm very surprised that's not sold yet. Automatic, 2012, sub £4,000, I think it's 3495. Not even a whisper on that car. Nissan automatic, but fingers crossed we get one moving soon. This Vauxhall Astra, flipping hellfire. Where do I start? I have had this car in stock, no word of a lie, about 6 months. It came in with a brake fluid fault, and then it was also saying that the windows were faulting. Anyway, done all sorts with this car, couldn't seem to fix it, and then finally took it to a garage, and it turned out to be, I think it was the body control module or something electrical related. It also needed an MOT, which we've had to do 2 front tyres on, as you can see, and it's also had to have some rear brake pads on as well. So put that on the front row. We've had a couple inquiries on that, but unfortunately, obviously, we've not been able to get it anywhere with the current issues that it's had, but that one is now good to go. It's got the 1.6 petrol engine in. Don't usually get many issues with them, to be fair, but this one, unfortunately, has been a bit of a headache. I think it's had a new valve cover gasket as well, new thermostat, and I've had a bill of £650 on that car, and it only retails at £3,000, so quite disappointing, but it's good to go, and fingers crossed we get a customer on that one soon. And then last one from a sales front is this little Ford Fiesta 1.25 Z-Tech, 63 plate. I think it's only got 54k on the clock. We had some customers inquire yesterday on it. And anyway, I somehow completely forgot about the appointment. So I was half an hour away from dealership when they arrived. But they waited for me, they were so nice. They were a bloke with his son and he's had his vehicle written off. Agreed a deal on it. We need to get time belt water pump done on it for him, and he's going to pick that up mid next week. So that's 2 sales today. So from a sales point of view, we're very happy. For those who remember, there was a white Insignia part next to the blue one, an automatic. That one's gone to the garage as the door locks don't seem to be working. They've deadlocked themselves. And we're also getting it prepped. So the garage rang me, I think it's having a spring, new thermostat and a few other bits. So that one will be good to go when it comes back. They've also got quite a few other cars of ours. So the garage that I'm using, 2 really good lads. grown quite a good relationship with each other, and I think they've got about 8 cars of mine at the minute. So I feel pretty sorry for them. They've got an Audi A3 2010. That car has been the pain of our lives. Unfortunately, the timing chain had failed on it. So they've done that, but at the same time, they figured out that the head gasket was on its way out. It's the 1.4 TFSI engine. So obviously I've approved them to do it, but the coolant pipes and stuff like that are swollen because there's been oil going through the vehicle and stuff. So yeah, bit of a nightmare, but we'll get it cracking. Our batch of personal cars, so Will had the Mini Cooper S and this green Audi TT, and I had a blue one, which I was hoping to do a bit of footage with. But we have now sold these cars, and again I will explain later on in this video why that is the case. So these are sold and they'll be on the way out soon. For those who haven't seen in any videos, this one is my personal car. So it came in part exchange, this really weird deal. Bloke bought a Vauxhall Astra from me 2011. He tried to trip me up with it actually. It had loads of faults with it, and I think he thought I didn't notice what they were and that they was worse than what they were. Anyway, it turned out to only be a glow plug and a oil pressure switch. So who's laughing now? Because I come out with an Audi A7 3 litre TDI Quattro Black Edition, and it drives lovely. So just show you, that's the one that I've got. So other than that, how are we doing from a business point of view? Well, things haven't changed from the last video. Things are slow. Sales just do not seem to be moving very well at all at the minute. But I know most car dealers are in the same position. So obviously all the stuff that's going on in Iran and things like that are having quite a detrimental effect to us. We sell quite a lot of diesel vehicles, for example, and there are a lot of people just not buying diesel right now. So we are in a bit of catch-22 with it. But things should pick up. Just got to try and keep as positive as we can. Let's just have a quick look at the board and we'll see how many sales we've done for the month. So looking there, that's our sold cars. We've done 11 vehicles for the month and we're on the 18th. Now the disappointing thing is usually we'd be on about 25 to 30 cars by now. So that is significantly lower for us down here at LAS Autobahn Motors. But again, hopefully things will pick up. I've got a couple of plans of what I am going to do. But I do need to sit down with you guys and have a discussion with you about the business and what we're doing. So why have I come in after hours to specifically do this video for you guys? What information have I got to share with you? Well, for those who have probably picked up in the past couple of videos, things are getting very tough in the motor trade, is as simple as I can put it. Obviously sales are slowing down, and I do believe that's something that's going to be getting worse as well going into the future, because again, what's going on in the war in Iran with fuel and stuff like that. The UK government is another thing. I'm not going to get too political with stuff, but making things very hard for small businesses like myself to survive. Now, for those who have not noticed, Will is no longer in the videos. So I set up a second business with Will called Spire Automotive Group, and we did a great job of it. There's no bad blood between us at all. He is like a brother to me now, so no bad feelings from what we've done. But we have decided to close the business. So why is that? Why have we decided to close the business, which is what people will be wanting to know? Well, simply put, the used car sales market is a very hard business to be in. That's as clear as I can be with it, really. My whole thing with this YouTube channel is to be totally honest with you guys, totally transparent, tell you the honest side of owning a business. I know some YouTubers want to paint up that they're doing very well and stuff. Leave that to them. I do things a little bit different here. Now, obviously with the cost of living crisis that's going on, it's meant that people are obviously getting tight with their pockets. But in return with that, we find that people are purchasing our cars, which are usually £2,500 to £5,000, but the expectations are getting higher and higher. And I think that's because people are obviously getting a bit shorter of money at the minute, and they're wanting better value for money. Now, this has made it basically unfeasible and unmanageable having a business together. As straight as me and Will can be, we've run Spire Automotive Group now for just over a year, and we have not took a single penny out of the business. So for all that hard work that we do, you know, selling the cars, buying the cars, dealing with customers, all the legalities of stuff, we haven't paid ourselves a single penny. Now, that is a big problem. Now, I'm not saying everything is about money, but obviously we need to take a living out of it. And if we can't take a living out of it, then something's obviously not right. Now, I know there's going to be some people in the comments saying, oh, you're doing this wrong, or you need to get this stock or this stock. If I'm totally honest with you guys, we've tried all avenues. We've tried newer stock, which don't seem to sell very well in our area. Obviously, the cheaper stock does sell well, but the margins are slimmer, and they are getting tighter because of what's going on around us in the world. So what did we achieve in that time opening Spire? Well, we've sold about 250 cars in that time, which for a startup business, me and Will are both very proud of. We've grown lots of new connections with customers, put lots of vehicles on the road, made customers happy, and ultimately we grew a very good reputation in the area that we was in. Me and Will was totally unknown when we landed on this pitch. I think we ruffled a few feathers, which I like the feeling of doing that. And we definitely took over this area, I would say, in terms of numbers that we're selling. But it very much started to feel like we was becoming busy idiots, and we was running about left, right and centre, taking stress home with us, not being able to sleep very well at night and stuff because of things that are going on. And we had a sit down a few weeks ago and we basically said, we're going to call this a day. But just to be clear, there's no bad blood between me and Will. We speak daily. We're very, very good friends, very close. And that is something that won't change. So Will's on to his next ventures. I believe he's going back to his bus mechanics, which he did previously. If I'm honest with you, I don't blame him. He was earning quadruple the money and for a lot less stress. So all the best with him with that. And I'm sure he'll smash anything that he does. So that leads me on to the next thing that I'm going to talk about, which is where does that leave LAS Automotive Motors, which is my original business. Again, very similar to Spire. Things have got very hard and very fast in the motor trade. So for those who don't know, I started this business with very little money. And unfortunately, I don't have a massive capital behind me to swallow up enormous costs. And that is what's going on at the minute. People may not understand it, but in the motor trade, if you have one slow month and a bad run of cars, so that could be warranty, handbacks, all that sort of stuff, it can cripple you pretty fast. Again, I went by being totally transparent. So we're on the 18th of April. Now, since the 4th of March, between both businesses, we've lost about £70,000. Now, people will say, oh, how is that? How have you done that? It's obviously been mismanaged. It's unfortunately not. We had a VAT bill come out, which came up to about 18 grand in the end. We then had quite an unsuspected bill with business rates. We thought that we could get free business rates here. It's turned out not the case. All of a sudden, we owe quite a chunk of money to them as well. Then, unfortunately, we had a row of vehicles, which we've never had before, but we had about 4 or 5 cars, which we had to do handbacks on. One, a timing belt snapped. Another one, a head gasket failed. Another one, an engine failed. Another one, a gearbox and engine failed. And then the other one was a little Fiesta, which unfortunately the customer just didn't like, which you can't really argue that. Now, that meant that we went backwards quite significantly. We've been paying quite a lot out in warranty and repair bills and stuff like that. And it really has tested this business to the max. Ultimately, when running a business and you are by yourself, everything falls, in this case, on my shoulders. I've got no one that I can turn to and really get support from or anything like that. If something goes wrong here, that is on me. And what's happening at the minute, I am swallowing up a lot of stress. Now, I'm not someone who's going to start crying or getting emotional or anything like that, but I am taking a lot of stress home at the minute and I feel a massive weight on my shoulders. And I always said to myself that there's no job that is worth being unhappy over. And unfortunately, that is where I am at the minute. Now, some of these things I obviously need to blame on myself. I think looking back, I grew too fast, started stocking up way too much, way beyond what we could cope with. I think at one time we had about 70 cars in stock, but because we were selling the numbers, we just kept rolling it. And at the time, it was working for us. But I think things have just caught up. Now, even though it's my business, this job has started to create quite bad physical effects to me. Some quite personal, which I won't go through. Another one that I've got going on with the doctors at the minute. And I know it's down to stress. And now, as extreme as this sounds, I obviously don't want that to have a detrimental effect in my life going forward. I've got a young family at home. Obviously, I've got a partner. I've got other family as well that I need to think about. So things have got to change going forward. I currently don't know what I'm going to do with LAS Automotive Motors. I am not sure if I'm going to close it all together. If not, then I definitely need to do a complete restructure of how this business is running. So what does that mean? Well, what that would mean if I do carry on LAS Automotive Motors is I would have to change the stock profile quite significantly and lower the stock levels right down to about 20 cars, which in that case, I think I can manage. But right now, the fun and the spark has definitely left the room, that is for sure. And I need to have a bit of time to myself to have a think about what I want to do. But as I've always said, I like being totally transparent with these videos and let you guys know where we're at. Tell you the honest side of it. I know a lot of people like painting up their lives are perfect. You know, I have a good life here. I'm not saying I don't. I've earned some decent money and I've grown something that I'm very, very proud of. There's obviously a bit more to it to why I set this business up for those who watch the original videos. I lost my stepdad to cancer nearly 2 years ago now. And there's a lot more meaning to LS Autobahn Motors than just the business. And to let it go would definitely be painful. So I'd need to think very hard about what I want to do. But I do feel like I want to venture still in the motor trade, but just in a slightly different way. So we'll have to see where that takes me going forward. And what does that mean for this channel? Well, I don't really want people worrying. I think I'll always sell cars to some sort of capacity, so I don't need to be worrying about things like that. And there's going to be no immediate change over the next couple of months. So we're still going to keep rolling. I'm going to try and get this spark back. I'm going to fight for this business the best that I can and for as long as I can, that is for sure. There is going to be something else I'm going to venture in the motor trade. It is a little bit different to car sales, but it is still working with vehicles. So I hope you guys will stick with me when you start seeing some of that content in the next couple of months. I am sorry it's a bit doom and gloom today. It's not all negative, but I do need to tell you guys exactly what's going on. So just to recap, we have closed Spire Automotive Group, and I am having to think about LAS Autobahn Motors and about what the future holds for that business. But as always, I just want to thank everybody for their support. Since starting these videos back up, we've nearly touched 400 subscribers now, which I'm very happy with. And if you don't mind, if you can like, subscribe and follow, I would really appreciate that. So that is the end of this video. I'm sorry it's a short one. And again, I don't want anyone worrying, thinking I'm going to fall off the face of earth and this business is just going to close like that. Not a chance. I'm more than a fighter than that. I'm definitely a fighter, that's for sure. And if I can find a way of doing something to get this business moving forward, then I definitely will. But that's just a quick one for today, guys. Next video will be a bit more upbeat, and I'll catch you for the next one. Take care.